Hi everybody, today we are going to talk a little bit more about geometry and we're going to learn a little bit about the solid figures as it relates to our, our geometry unit. There's a lot of vocabulary in this unit, so I'm going to give you some time to pause and then write down the definitions. So a solid is a 3D figure that encloses a part of space. So I have a little block here. We'll talk about the name of it, but notice it doesn't lay flat. It is three-dimensional. So that's what a solid figure is. It is classified by the number and shape of their bases. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to get a little bit crazy here and reveal all this at once. I'll talk about each one, but feel free if you need to pause, you can do that. So the first is a rectangular prism, and what we're going for is prism. And it is a solid with two parallel bases that are congruent polygons. So what I showed you before, here is a base, and if I flip it over, here is a base. They are the same, and they connect on the sides right here. Another example would be a triangular prism. And this has a base right here, and if I flip it over, it's got an identical parallel base connected by these lines. So a prism is a solid with two parallel bases that are congruent polygons, which means exactly the same size and shape on each of the bases. All right, a cylinder is a solid with two parallel bases that are congruent. So I have an example right here. Sorry, my dock cam is kind of funny to work with. And they are congruent. I think a lot of you do know what a cylinder is, and we've all eaten Pringles, so they're in the Pringles cans too. Let's go with a pyramid, and a triangular pyramid is a solid made of polygons. The base can be any shape, but the sides are triangles that share a vertex. So I drew a picture, but I'm going to show you the base of this is a square. And this is a square pyramid because then if I go right here, you can see that all of these are triangles that lean into one point at the top. Okay? So that's what a pyramid is. You could have a triangular pyramid too, where this shape at the bottom would need to be a triangle. So that's what a pyramid is. A cone is a solid that has a circular base and a vertex that is not in the same plane. So if you think of, here's a circle, and if we drew a belly button on it, and then we pulled that up, you know, it's a cone, like an ice cream cone. But this is all one flat surface. There's no extra sides. It's a curved deal. And then we have a sphere. And a sphere is a set where all points are the same distance from the center. I do have two half spheres that I like to put together. So here is my sphere. Imagine a belly button put right in the middle, and it makes a ball. So that's why it rolls, because it should be like a basketball, everything equal from that middle point. Okay? So the other important vocabulary are the faces. And those are the shapes or the polygons of the figure. So when we looked at this little guy right here, we have a triangular prism. So it's this polygon is one face. The opposite, that's two faces. This face is 3. This face is 4. And this is 5. So this has 5 different faces on it. And again, this face, they'll all be rectangles, but when we look at 1, 2, 3, and then the bottom being 4, all around there, 5, 6 faces on this rectangular prism. Finally, we have the vertex, and that's the point where those faces meet, where those edges go to a point. So this is a vertex, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all the sharp edges. If we look at the triangular pyramid, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 vertices, and we spell that vertices. Okay, so I drew a little picture, which is down here. If you want to draw that picture, you certainly can. But a lot of this lesson is going to be focused on just simply counting the faces and the edges of different shapes. So we could have, and I wanted to show you this example too. This is an octagonal prism. So if you look, there are 8 sides around here. It would kind of roll like that, kind of. So there would be 8 around here, but then we have this and 9, and this is number 10. So don't forget those ones on the edges. There are mistakes that you can make when you're counting those edges and those vertices. So really think in your head what that shape would look like, and I will leave a bag of shapes over on the counter where our science supplies usually sit. Finally, I'm going to put under the doc cam how to draw. Sorry, it's all backwards here. This is how to draw a prism. You draw 2 congruent figures, and then you just simply connect those lines. And you can see that right through here. It's not necessary that you know how to do that on a quiz or a test, but it's kind of an interesting art lesson for those of you who love that sort of thing. I want you to try these, and you can look here. It says classify this, and then you need to count the number of faces, edges, and vertices. So do number 1, 2, 3. What is it? For number 2, do the same thing. What is it? And then you need the faces, edges, and vertices. Push pause, and I will show you the answer in just a moment. All right, so for number 1, you should have gotten a triangular prism, and the faces is 5, edges is 9, and the vertices is 6. The next one is a hexagonal prism, and it goes 8, 18, and 12. And then a pentagonal pyramid, and it goes 6, 10, and 6. You should be ready for your assignment. Good luck, and please come see me if you have any questions.